Welcome back to the Armchair Generals,
where we talk 40K's news, tactics, and lore.
And so much more. We hope you enjoy the video.
Welcome back to the Armchair Generals. Thank you for joining us today. As always, I am Crash, and with me I have Novastar.
How's it going, everybody?
And El Scotcho.
Yay, I'm not sick anymore.
All right, and today it's Christmas time in Games Workshop land. And we're going to go over some of these new Christmas battle forces they've put out, as well as some of the other random gift items that they've got. So first up, we do have a Space Marines interdiction force. Now, Scotcho, do you want to go over the contents of that?
Yeah, all the models are really cool. I've never had a beef with any of the new models that they've been putting out here recently for Space Marines or Necrons or really anybody. But I don't see many players picking this one up. I mean, there's cheaper ways to get the battle suit everybody wants, and I mean, yeah, but the Reavers and that Captain, man, nobody's really using those.
Reavers are just there because they need filler and they're taking up space in the warehouse.
Yeah, made too many Reaver kits. I mean, the tank. Certain armies are going to see use out of that. I know Nova's got a list going for his Ultramarines that'll make use of tanks like that. But and the infiltrators or incursors, situationally useful, I'd say. But overall, there's worse things to spend your money on, sure, but you probably do better by piecing your own stuff together. But I'd say solid C, if I had to give it a grade.
I agree. Impulsor, Invictor, 10 Incursors / Infiltrators, 10 Reavers, and a Phobos Captain. I love the Reavers, don't get me wrong.
Their models are amazing.
I love the way they look. But
they've had 4 books to get them right, and they get them wrong each time. 3 Space Marine Codexes, and now the Fangs of Morcane, and they're all terrible.
Yeah, there's no point in fielding them on the table. Other units do what they do, but better. The only advantage they have is, the ability to deep strike or come in from an outflank, but there's better units.
Yeah, they can Spider-Man up a building. That's what do you do, asshole?
With Vanguard veterans now, being 2 wounds and everything, you might as well take Vanguard veterans for hopping up, buildings.
Yeah, agreed. They'll do it better.
Yeah, I mean, can't fault the look of the models, but I don't see that set being that great. I know the value. So we were all discussing, what we think they're going to go for. I think these boxes are going to be about $220, maybe $225.
I'm going to go with $250 in my prediction. They all range, when you include these in the AOS, anywhere between, $290 and $312. If you break everything apart. So I'm going to go $250.
Yeah, I'll kind of shoot a little bit above Nova there. I'm betting probably more like $250 to $275 because there's some value, as far. But I just think Games Workshop overvalues their kits quite a bit.
They do,
so
which has been a subject of conversation for us. But
yeah,
I might be giving them too much credit there. I just was, given the value in the combat patrols, I was kind of hoping that we'd see a similar value in these Christmas boxes.
and that would be excellent.
But there's every chance we won't. Here's hoping they prove me right, and my me being generous to them wasn't wrong. I mean, cheaper collection sets are pretty nice, because I mean, if that box is $215 to $225, somewhere in there, Reavers are pretty situational, but they might be kind of fun in something like Crusade, or something like that. So then that would make that box a little more.
Everyone wants their skull helmets.
Well, yes, because they're so cool.
They are.
Yeah, I mean, the models are fantastic looking. There's not a flaw with them, and I hate unhelmeted heads. And I'll tell you what, those little Mohawk dudes are, I love them.
I
I'm
know.
talking about their full helmet skull ones though too.
Oh no, the full helmet as well. No, I'm just saying I hate unhelmeted heads, and I'm totally down with the half helmet Mohawk guys.
Yeah.
Because it makes no sense for Space Marines not to have helmets on.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Space Wolves. Well, it's their Space Wolves.
But they look so cool. And yeah, the full helmet ones, oh, so sick. I would get a whole army's worth of those helmets for a Primaris army and just do them all with that skull face. Then we have the Necron's Eradication Legion, which I actually think is the best box of the bunch as far as usefulness, because everything there now is pretty solid.
I don't think there's a bad choice in that box.
I don't know either. You've got 10 warriors, and they're the new warriors out of the box. You've got 5 immortal / death marks. You've got 5 Lich Guard / Praetorian jumpy boys. I don't remember their. You have a Triarch Stalker, a Night Scythe / Doom Scythe, a Canoptic Spider, which have gotten way better, and then a Cryptek. I mean, it's a good box.
That is a solid box. I don't even play Necrons, and I would think about buying that one.
If you were starting Necrons, I would recommend getting it. That's a very good start. That plus one.
You got money to throw at the game, and you buy 2 of those, and there's your Necron army.
That plus the new, is it the Elite or the Commander? The highest level of the new starter set?
The Commander.
The Necrons out of that, plus that Christmas box, that's a heck of a Necron starter army right there.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Or if you just started the game and you picked up Indomitus, this would be a good add-on for you, a good expansion.
Very good.
Yeah.
So, the Necron box, 2 thumbs up from me.
Oh yeah.
And then we have the Astra Militarum box there, Nova.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it's got the same monetary value, whether that's worth it or not, but it just seems so lackluster.
Yeah.
Guess what? It's 2 infantry squads, a command platoon, a heavy weapons box, a sentinel, a chimera, and a hydra. It's so boring.
It is.
Nothing like screams out into by me, and it doesn't hurt that Cadians are just so milk toast of models.
Yeah,
like they're the most boringest sculpts of a guard regiment.
Well, and nobody uses Sentinels.
No,
they're just not worth their points.
No, they're really not.
I mean, the Hydra, I'd turn it into a Wyvern, use it as the mortar mobobber.
But even, I mean, as we were discussing earlier, even with the going for the Wyvern instead of the Hydra, you're still, I mean, suffering against anything that's got a 3-up armor save because it's got no AP currently.
Yeah. Is it a bad box if you're starting a guard army? No, it's solid if you're starting a guard army, but there's nothing wow about it.
No. I would give
honestly.
Go ahead.
I was just saying there's kind of a problem with guard in general right now. There isn't really any kind of a wow factor to the army.
No, there's not. They've been missing that for a little while. Really, the only thing that's I mean, they haven't really been great since the old Leaf Blower Guard of 4th, early 5th edition. I mean, back when you saw just hordes of template weapons out there because those didn't rely on the guard ballistic skills. So I mean, every squad had grenade launchers and used, everything that could drop a 5-inch template on the board and just try to, smash your enemy to smithereens. I mean, with this army or this box, what I do is double heavy flamers in the Chimera, obviously the whole amount heavy flamer in the Wyvern, and pray to God I didn't need that. If I was going to use the Sentinel for some reason, I'd build it with the heavy flamethrower just because. And with the heavy weapons, probably do mortars just because it's less reliant on the guards horrible ballistic skill, and then every squad would have a flamethrower, as many flamethrowers as possible. I mean, that's really the only way to use a guard that box right there.
There's the Chaos set, and I know Nova was saying he kind of likes the Chaos set. You
I mean, it's definitely like a workhorse of a set. You're gonna want these units, especially when Chaos Space Marines get their new book and their Terminators catch up with 3 wounds, and their Marines and Havocs get 2 wounds each. So it's definitely a good foundation. Like the Guard, it's very boring. Nothing's really snazzy or stands out there with the army. It's all
Yeah,
just.
I'll go ahead and say it. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, it's just all your almost grunt-like units. They're all going to get work done. There's no flash to the box.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and say it. I've always hated the Forge Fiend model. I think it's dumb looking. I don't know how effective it is on the table because I don't play Chaos, but it's just a really terrible model in my opinion.
The Forge Fiend itself isn't great. The Mauler Fiend is what people take.
Yeah.
Got it.
I don't think really anybody was happy with the Dinobots when they came out, which is what everyone was calling them.
Dinobots. Okay, that makes sense. I'm picking fun at them is okay too. I mean, I would literally. I hope they get the Astartes Chainsword rule. That's it. That's.
I think they already got that.
Did they? Oh,
In their FAQ, they just haven't got the wounds updates. But most of the weapon profiles were updated.
good.
I've seen a lot of really cool conversions for the Mauler Fiend / Forge Fiend model. I saw a very, very cool Thousand Suns Sphinx looking conversion. No, it was really, really cool. And I didn't mind that, but yeah, I think it needs conversion work.
So I have Forge Fiend parts, and I'm actually going to use them on like my Chaos Knights. So if you see those front legs, which have that backward gate, I'm going to use those on the little one. What are they called?
Armiger or
I think
War Dogs?
Warhounds or War Dogs is what the Chaos called them. Like I'm going to use those as the War Dog legs and pop those guns on the side.
Those would make cool legs for an Iron Warriors Demon Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would.
And those guns would look cool on a knight. And it's just like, I don't know.
No, it's a nice harvestable source for parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Convert it into other things, harvest parts off of it. Like it's really.
It's the whip tendrils that come for the Mauler Fiend actually look really good if you're trying to do Scourge conversions for either Dreadnoughts or Defilers, because they look a lot better than the Defiler Scourge.
Actually, some of those legs would probably look cool on a Defiler too. I mean, if you had enough of them, you could totally make your Defiler a little bit more, a little less mechanical and more.
It'd be less mechanical, more organic.
Yeah.
Definitely more of the Demon NG feel. Because as it is, the Defilers really showing its age there.
Yeah, it is.
It's a clunky kit. And yeah. The kit was never great. I mean, let's be honest. It was never a great kit.
I think the very first one I bought at Book and Game, I converted it just to stand on 2 legs.
Yeah, it looked like Gundam, and some dude paid you a lot for it.
Yeah.
The boxes were what, 35 at the time?
It was probably 40, 50, I'd imagine.
And then the guy gave.
But you made like 200 off that.
Yeah, the guy gave you like 80 or 90 for it, something like that.
80 or 90. It was double the price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it did look cool. It looked like a Chaos Gundam.
Yeah, it just needed a base because it was not very. It didn't like to stand up that well.
Speaking of Gundams and mecha, we've got the Tau Empire Star Pulse Cadre.
The picture's so busy too.
It is. White was not the proper choice for background on this photo here. White should have gone with like tan or something. Sorry, Crash, I didn't hear you.
Oh, I was saying white's not the proper color for anything.
Yeah.
But you want to go over the mecha box there? Else?
Yeah, I don't hate this one. I'm not a Tau player. I've always liked the look of them, but and so I don't know necessarily what the most effective choices in the Tau army are. I do know that the piranhas are crap, though. I will say that I don't think I've ever seen a list using a piranha ever in my life. I don't think I've ever seen one bot ever in my life, except for when they were a Forge World only model and they were just kind of like, I got a Forge World thing, guys. But
So, there was a time back in 7th edition where they had one of those detachment abilities to where if you shot them, they could flee off the board before taking damage and then come back on in your own turn if they were close enough to the board edge. So in the circles of tournament play, people were taking them, but just to be really abusive.
See, I've always liked the broadside. I know that no tournament player takes the broadside because they're not worth it. The damage output is not worth it for the points. But I've always thought the model was cool. I liked it back when it had the twin shoulder cannons. I like it even more now that it's holding his big.
The broadside model's awesome looking.
Yeah. So that doesn't make me hate it. 4 battle suits. I know 3 battle suits is $75. So 4th one in there. Let's just say that's probably another. So
well, that's a commander. That's a character suit. That's even more expensive.
Okay, so that's probably even like more, like $40 or $50.
I believe he's 6.
But so yeah, you've got just in that front row, those 5 models. There's most of the value of your box right there. You know, if I were to buy this one, I'd say is probably like a C plus, maybe a B minus as far as grade goes. Value for the box. You're never going to not need drones in the Tau army, so those don't hate that. Actually, to be honest, though, instead of the Pathfinder little crew here, the little 5-man, 6-man Pathfinder squad that they've got going on there. I can't tell because there's so much going on in this.
I think they're 10 now. It's 10 Pathfinders and 10 of the strike team.
It is 10.
Got it. Okay.
Scattered around.
Oh, I get it. Okay, yeah, I see that dude there. Sorry, it's just like I said, busy picture. I don't hate the box from the visual aspect personally, but
we
I
all know why it's not a winner, and it's because it doesn't have any Kroot.
Yep,
no Kroot.
Actually, I really hope they make Kroot good again. Really, that would boost the army, in my opinion, quite a bit by making.
Kroot are so cool.
They are.
They should make Kroot factionless and let anyone be able to take them without messing up your abilities, because they are mercenaries.
I would totally run some Kroot in my Space Wolves army. I would do that. I mean, they'll fill the same role as cultists do in some order.
Okay, I'll caveat. They should not be allowed in the Death Watch army because it's just not going to happen.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Or Tyranid.
Okay, there's a few notable exceptions, but for the most part, everyone should be able to take Kroot.
I agree. Yeah. It would be cool. And then for the last of the 40K Christmas boxes, we have a Tyranid box. It is the Tyranid's Brood Swarm, so very original Games Workshop. On the surface, it doesn't look that great, but horror specs are terrible. But that kit can be built as an exocrine, which is fantastic. So you would definitely build that as an exocrine. Gene Stealers are solid. Hive Tyrant is good. Hive Guard, which confused me because they've been out of stock on the GW website for like 80 months now.
They had to put them all in these boxes.
Hive Guard are really good. I personally think there's better options, but they're very, very solid, heavy fire. If you take the Impaler, which is what you take, the shot cannon is meh. You take the Impaler, it doesn't require line of sight. That is where...
Okay, they do have that fire and forget one. Yeah.
That's where they still win out over some of the other options, is they don't require line of sight. So you can tuck them behind a building and just fire away at whatever you want.
That's pretty cool.
But the gargoyles, I just no.
Maybe they'll make them better.
Maybe.
I like the gargoyle models.
Oh no, the models are I like, but they're way overpointed for what you get.
Then
See, I'd rather take the Termagants.
some
I can do the
speculation. Oh, you rather have termagants?
Yeah.
But these have flappy flaps.
They got flappy flaps, though, Scotcho.
I don't know. But I think actually pre-video Crash did make a really good point, and that is that ninth edition, you're going to see a lot of fast-moving units out there to grab objectives, and this box definitely fills that niche. I mean, because Gene Stealers can infiltrate, and
They can run in charge or advance in charge.
They can advance and charge, yeah. And those gargoyles, they zoom, they move quick.
And then I think if you make that Hive Tyrant Swarm Lord, doesn't he have a movement trick too?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Crash. He's the Tyranid player.
He does. I don't remember exactly what his movement thing is, but he does have a thing he can do.
See, and then I like the Horuspex model a lot. I know it's not that good. I always wish it had some kind of rule to where it could like hop over stuff like a frog, because it looks like a giant Tyranid frog.
I'd be down with that. That'd be cool.
Giant froggy.
No, it's got hooves on the back of its feet, so it's probably not that great for hopping.
I did just notice though that it's actually 2 boxes of Gene Stealers at 16.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow. Yeah.
So it is actually 2 full boxes of Gene Stealers, plus the Hive Guard, plus the Tyrant, plus the thing that you build as an Exocrine. But no, yeah, the Gargoyles, they might be more useful. They need to lower their points. I believe they're 8 points apiece right now, which is double the cost of a regular Termagant, and it's just not worth that. 6 points, I'd take them. I'd take them at 6 points. 2 extra points for the movement. I mean, I think jump packs are 2 points on Space Marines. I believe they're only 2
10
points
for the squad, so it's like 1 point per guy.
So, I mean, why would Gargoyles be, why would Termagants go double the cost for getting wings?
Yeah, that's pretty dumb, actually. You got a good point.
If they drop them down to 6 points, I will take a big old mob of Gargoyles to sweep forward and tangle, stuff up and whatnot. I would absolutely take Gargoyles.
Yeah, it would be kind of cool to see some Tyranid flying circus lists out there. So you can do wings on warriors too, can't you?
Strikes, yep.
And so you could do, warriors with wings, a Flyrant, a bunch of gargoyles, go out there and zoom around and lock everything up in melee and lock down objectives.
And then, though it's not a Christmas box, we do have
it's colored like a Christmas ornament.
We do have GW confirmation on the Blood Angels Combat Patrol box, probably because it leaked and everybody was talking about it. So they were like, oh, okay. It's a really good box.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you're getting 5 intercessors, 3 aggressors, 5 incursors, a librarian, and a impulsor, and at least 1 Blood Angel upgrade sprue.
Yeah.
And this is a super mobile army. I mean, your librarian, your intercessors go in the impulsor, your incursors infiltrate, you pay a command point to outflank your aggressors, and boom, you're in the enemy's face quick.
Yeah. The only thing I have to complain about is the paint job. I really don't like the yellow face masks on those dudes. So that's it. I mean, that box is pretty good.
So they're yellow because it follows the Blood Angels thing. Their battle line units are red, their close support are yellow, and their fire support are blue.
Yeah, oh no, I get it. It's just dumb looking. I'd get giving them the full helmets.
I don't like incursor helmets at all. I think they're really goofy.
Yeah.
They're all half helmets with this weird visor.
You just need Reaver helmets in their place.
That's right. That's all you need. They'll be way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good force. It really is. I have nothing to complain about that in that. I mean, aggressors aren't as good as they used to be. I have a feeling they're going to catch something back. I mean, they used to be an auto include in any army that wanted something that filled that kind of role. It was,
Right.
Yeah.
But I would like to see them get a little bit of their punch back. Maybe just getting to fire their gauntlet bolters, their auto bolt storm twice. That would be nice, even if they don't get to fire their missile launcher twice or their frag launcher.
The frag grenade thing.
Yeah, just get to fire the gauntlets twice, or something like that. You know, or drop them down a little bit in points. They're
If they could go roasty toasty with the flamethrowers twice, that would be pretty cool.
and you might see the flamethrowers get used now, especially with the range increase.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking them up to check that out. To see if they got upgraded to a 12-inch range.
So I mean, it's a really, really good starter force for Space Marine.
Yeah.
I've got no complaints about it. I mean, I'm not big on the infiltrators,
Yeah, they did.
flashing cursors, but they definitely do have their uses. I don't tend to play highly aggressive, race forward Marine armies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these guys, you race forward, they go do your objectives, they raise the banners, they send the comm signal, those secondary things. That's really what they're good for.
Yeah.
And they
I
do it well.
The other guys have grenades, and you can't infiltrate very close to them. That's
the other ones, which you can build those as if you want.
Oh
yeah.
Infiltrators, yeah. They are useful for blocking off an enemy that has infiltrators.
Yeah.
Or deep strikers, because you can't bring anything in within 12 inches of them.
Yeah, and plus they have the AP1.
And with the board being smaller now, that's even more effective.
Yeah, and they're I mean, they got neat abilities. They ignore minuses to hit the enemy, and they also ignore cover.
So
Yeah.
they do have their uses, and like if I bought that box, I wouldn't be complaining about having 5 for when I want to use them. No, some good Christmas boxes. I really like that Combat Patrol box. So
that one definitely gets the A for the grade there.
Yeah,
it's probably one of the better Combat Patrol boxes that we've seen.
Yeah, I really wish the Space Wolf one was a little bit more like that. Those Fangs of Mordecai are...
They had to give you Reavers.
Yeah, they needed to offload some Reavers on you.
I actually made a really cool unit of Reavers with Space Wolf bits.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know, but I had made a Fang of Mordecai unit. Hey guys, so we went a little longer than we expected on this video. So we're going to go ahead and break it up into multiple parts. We'll have the next part coming up soon.
Thank you for joining us for today's video.
We hope you enjoyed your time with us.
If you did, please remember to smash that like button.
Hit subscribe and click that notification bell.
So you never miss a video from us.
Until next time, we are the Armchair Generals.